another Gettin Real with Ashleydawn and special guest who's not in the frame, but you can kind of see her arm, my mom, Michelle, Mama Dukes, Mommy Pocahontas. So, where was I? I was somewhere today, and I just got the thought, I was thinking about different things. Do you want to be in it, Mom?
No, I don't have to.
Do you want to, though?
No.
Okay. I was thinking about different things, and I was just thinking about in my life the different times that I have felt rejected, the different times when I have maybe wanted something and, you know, maybe I asked for it. Maybe it was a job. Maybe I had a job and I went to my boss and I asked for a raise or a promotion and I was rejected. I was denied. I didn't get the promotion. Somebody else got it. Maybe somebody that was less qualified than me or somebody that had been there less time than me. But it hurts, right? It hurts to be rejected. It hurts to kind of get shot down. And then I was thinking about, you know, different relationships when I've been rejected by different people and, you know, how that makes you feel on the inside. It makes you feel like you're not good enough. It makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. It makes you feel, you know, like if I'm not enough, like I have to do this, or this because, you know, they don't want me unless I do this. And I don't think it's necessarily them wanting you. Honestly, I was thinking a lot about it today, and rejection is really redirection. And I kind of like rhymes.
That's really good.
But when you are rejected, it redirects your plans. I can remember a time when I went to my boss and I was struggling financially and I was working a lot of hours, and I went to her and I asked her for a raise, and I just said, you know, I'm really struggling financially and it would really be a blessing to me if I could get a promotion, if I could get a raise. I've been working here for this many years. I feel like I'm doing a great job, and I was rejected. Well, guess what? After being rejected for several promotions and being rejected for raises, and I was there a really long time, I decided, right, rejection is redirection, that I would work somewhere else. And so I started applying to places and I got a job and I started working somewhere else. And so it redirected my path. I didn't stay at that job. I look at relationships. I talk about it a lot because it's a big part of my life, but I was married and betrayed, and I mean, I don't know a greater rejection than betrayal, than somebody that has claimed to love you choosing not to. Somebody that has claimed to be faithful to you choosing not to be. Somebody who has promised to only have eyes for you, having eyes for everybody but you, right? That's rejection.
Yeah.
But in my case, it was redirection. I was separated several times, and I went through counseling and I went through therapy, and it ended up that he wasn't going to change, so we divorced. And it redirected my life. You know, I had all these plans that we were, you know, going to be this wonderful family, and we were going to serve the Lord together, and we were going to have children, and it was just going to be this beautiful thing. We were looking at buying a house and you know, decorating and doing all the fun little marriage stuff. But I was rejected, which turned into being redirected. And I look at my life now. I was divorced 4 years ago, almost 5, which is crazy to think about. But I was divorced 4 years ago, and before that I was married 7 years ago. And I just look at my life, and it's so crazy because when we are rejected, we are redirected. And when we're redirected, oftentimes we go in directions we never would have thought we would go in. We go places we maybe put in for a job that we would have never thought to put in for. We apply for a job that we never thought we would, you know, take. We go out on a date with somebody that we never saw them as a potential, you know, relationship. Right. But we take a chance. And so a lot of time it redirects us to something that we never would have seen. I think about, I drive a lot. That's why I do these car chats, because I'm always driving different places. And I think about when they're doing road work, right?
Yeah.
And you get redirected, right? You essentially get rejected, right? You're driving down the road. Yesterday I was driving down McGregor and it says road work ahead. Well, I was rejected. McGregor rejected me driving on it and I was redirected through a detour to drive through the back of the neighborhood somewhere else. I didn't plan to be redirected through, I forget the name, Shadley. But when I was on Shadley, I was looking all around and I was seeing things that I wouldn't have seen had I not been redirected. There were flowers and there were pretty trees, and like the landscaping was really, the landscaping was really pretty. And I just looked at that and I kind of chuckled to myself and I kind of laughed, because I was like, isn't that God? That, you know, I maybe got a little frustrated because I was on my way home, and then there's road work, and so I have to go out of my way. I'm not going to be home at the same time, and it wasn't part of my plan. And then I get redirected and I get to see things that are beautiful that I wouldn't have seen had I not been redirected, that I wouldn't have seen had I not been rejected from my driving path, had I not been rejected from that relationship, from that job, from that. It doesn't have to be a relationship, like a, you know, romantic relationship. It can be a friendship. You could have a friend that you think is just your BFF, and then guess what? They decide you're not their BFF anymore. They have a different BFF. They have somebody else they want to spend time with, and you can feel betrayed and rejected, and you can feel less than, and you can feel like you don't measure up and you're not enough. I felt that way. There have been so many times where I have felt like somebody else was chosen over me, whether it be because of my morals, because I am the way that I am, or because I don't do certain things that another person would do. I had this one friend that was one of my best friends that I loved very much. Well, she went to the bars all the time, and I wouldn't go to the bars with her. I didn't drink. And so I didn't want to be around people that were drunk and spilling their beer on me. And I went a couple times, but it wasn't an environment that I wanted to be in. I'd get hit on all the time by guys, and like I said, I got beer spilled on me, and I didn't want to be in that environment anymore. And so I just let her know, like, hey girl, I love you, let's plan to do other stuff, but I don't want to go to the bars with you. And I didn't say it in like a put down kind of way, because I don't have a problem with people that drink. I just choose not to, right? My life is my own. Your life is your own. You can do or not do whatever you want, and vice versa. And I didn't say it, you know, in a condescending way. I just said, I love you, but I'd rather do something else. Like, let's go to Topgolf. Let's go bowling. Let's go roller skating. Let's go kayaking. Let's go do something. Let's go have an adventure. Let's go, you know, have fun, instead of just sitting at a bar drinking, listening to people tell stupid stories. Well, anyway, she found a friend that would go to the bar with her, and she started hanging out with that friend more than me, and I got my feelings really, really hurt. And I felt like, well, what's wrong with me? Am I not a good friend? Does she not care about me? Does she not love me? No, it had nothing to do with any of those things. She wanted to go to the bar, and I wasn't going to go with her. So I was redirected to other friendships. I was redirected to spend my free time, or my time that I had set aside for socializing or spending time with my friends, with other people that valued me more than she did, right? And anytime I think about somebody rejecting you, really the issue is that they don't value you. If they're rejecting you, they haven't placed value in you.
Right.
It's like when people at the supermarket, when they get a counterfeit bill and they reject it, or an ATM even.
Right.
Have you ever put like a bill in an ATM and it's like that, like hit my window and I like flinched.
Brings it back out. It brings it back, spits it back out.
Yeah, it spits it back out because it's folded, right? It's not smooth, and so
Right.
it rejects it because it sees something wrong with it.
Or a coin that is foreign coin.
Right. Or when you put a Chuck E. Cheese token in a coin machine and they realize that, hey, that's a Chuck E. Cheese coin. But it's rejected because there's something wrong with it, right? And so when we get rejected, we think there's something wrong with us. The problem isn't something wrong with us. The problem is it's something that the other person isn't seeing in us.
The value.
Yes. Like I look at my ex-husband. He did not see the amazing woman that I am. And I'm not saying that to be braggy, but I know that I'm a good woman. I know I stood by his side and I fought for him when he couldn't fight for himself, and he didn't fight for himself.
Right.
And so I look at that and I'm like, he couldn't see who I was because he was blinded from the lifestyle that he was living. He was blinded by the things that he was doing, by the addiction that was suffocating him and trapping him. And so I look at that and I just want to encourage anybody listening, anybody watching that has felt rejected, that has felt looked over or passed over, or felt like you're not good enough or you don't measure up. Maybe there was a guy that you really cared a lot about and you spent a lot of time trying to let him know how you felt about him, but you got tired. Listen, I've been there. I've gotten tired of trying to get someone's attention. Like, hey, do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? And it's like, no, they don't see you. That's why you're going out of your way. That's why you text first every time. That's why you're always going out of your way to do nice things for them. That's why you're always being thoughtful. They're not being thoughtful. They don't care about you. Right? I've been there. And the thing that I can encourage you, if somebody doesn't see your worth, don't waste your time trying to convince them of it. Don't waste your time trying to get somebody's attention. If it's a relationship, say it's a friendship, and they don't see what a gift and a value you are, maybe that's not the friendship for you. If it's a relationship, it's a romantic relationship, and it's like maybe you're a girl and it's a guy that you really have feelings for, you care about, but he's let you know over and over again, he's shown you with his lack of interest and lack of pursuit that he's really not into you. Let it go. Like, forgive him, move on, bless him. But can I just encourage you, one day there is going to be a man that is going to pursue you as if his life depends on it, because to him it does. Because to him, you are that good gift that God has promised him. And he sees it, and he knows it, and he values it. And until that guy comes, don't you dare try to convince someone of your worth. Don't you dare try to fight for somebody's attention.
Or settle.
Or settle, yeah. Because here's the problem with that. If you have to fight to get their attention, you're going to have to fight to keep their attention. Okay, you meet somebody and you're fighting and trying to get their attention and you finally get their attention. Well, guess what? Now you got to keep their attention. Okay, you get married. Well, now it's even harder because now there's all these other temptations around him, right? Maybe he works at an office with a bunch of women. So whatever you had to do to get them, you're going to have to continue to keep them. If you had to compromise to get them, well, you're going to have to compromise to keep them. And if that's something you're okay with, you do you, boo. But I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with having... So, all that to say, if you feel like you're having to prove yourself to somebody, that's your sign right there that they're not the one for you. If you feel like you're having to get somebody's attention, that you don't already have their attention, that's a sign too. That's not your person. I just want to encourage you, the person God has for you will pursue you, especially if it's a guy. Guys are made to be hunters. Guys are made, men are made. It says in the Bible, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. It's God's design that a man find you. Don't be chasing after a man and trying to throw yourself at his feet. I mean, Ruth kind of did that. But don't be like that. God has somebody for you, and you're not going to have to beg them to be with you. I just want to encourage you. I know that sometimes it can, be a little overwhelming, and it can be a little disheartening when you have all these desires and all these dreams, and you're just thinking like, where's my person, God? Like, I'm a catch, I'm a good person. I have integrity, I'm kind, I'm compassionate, and it's easy to think like there's something wrong with. There is nothing wrong with you. Sometimes rejection is God's redirection. Sometimes us not getting what we want is God showing us something that we never would have looked at that is better and more suited for us. I just want to encourage you, God has you. You can trust him. Don't throw yourself in front of somebody. Don't chase somebody down. Don't jump up and down and be like, hi, hi, hi. No. If they want you to be in their life, they will make an effort to have you in their life. I love you. You are seen, you are celebrated, and you are loved. God has great plans for you, and the enemy would love nothing more than to convince you that you have to do something to make it work. You have to do this. You have to do that. No, you just have to be yourself. The right person will come along at the right time. It says in Isaiah that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. I'm not the Lord, but he is, and he will make it happen in God's perfect timing. I just wanted to encourage you. You are not alone. If you're feeling rejected, maybe you're being redirected. I hope this is encouraging, and I will catch you in the next one.